used to roam in numbers that we cannot even fathom. And there was an estimated 8 million buffalo at one time. And within 20 years, they unalived so many of them. There was around 3,000 or less remaining. The scale of this horrific thing that they did in just 20 years is almost unfathomable. And it has forever changed the landscape of our country. Bird populations were huge. Before and in the early years of colonization, they talked about how there were so many birds that they could block out the sun. But as settlers would come west, they would indiscriminately shoot at flocks of birds, dropping them from the sky. Since just the year 1970, we've lost 3 billion birds. And that's just in the last 60 years. Imagine how many we've lost since colonization. And just look at the shocking deforestation since 1620. We've destroyed almost all of the forests of this country. And you can see in these charts from 1650 to 1992, how low tree cover has gotten because they've cut down all of the tallest trees, and trees aren't able to grow as tall as they were because of this massive deforestation. We'll never know what the forests or the bird or the buffalo or any other populations looked like before this time. And it wasn't just the apocalypse for the animals and the land. This paper talks over the indigenous Holocaust in the Americas, between disease and the awful things that were done to indigenous communities. In the United States, it's estimated at the lowest point, indigenous communities were roughly 237,000 people. That's millions of people gone. In the Western Hemisphere, some people estimate that between 40 and 50 million people lost their lives in this indigenous Holocaust. So next time a movie comes on and it's about a post-apocalyptic world, well, you don't need to watch it at all because we're already there, and this is what it looks like. Do you ever think about how we already live in post-apocalyptic times? But we've been so brainwashed into thinking that this is what the apocalypse looks like that we can't actually see that this is what it looks like. And this is a point that a lot of indigenous creators will make.
Revelation 6 verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation for the whole elect Akim. That's puts this word. Peace to the elect out there. So this is going to be a quick lesson, man. So I bumped this on the gram. The brother uploaded it. And I'm going to name this video, Know Your History. Know Your History. And the reason I read that scripture because that pale horse represents a power, okay? That's the talking about the so-called white man because power was given to him from the Lord. If you do the research and do the history according to the Bible, you could go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, verse 38. And it's going to tell you the blessings of Esau, Edom. Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white race. So this is the reason why I read that pale horse scripture. He's that pale horse. It's a power structure. And what this guy was given this information, the deforestation of the earth over here in Americas, the killing of the buffalo, the bison, the killing of the birds. There's only one race of people who's going to do that. That's Esau, Edom. Now, Ronald Reagan said that in America, they follow the laws of the Bible, which is BS, okay? Because according to the scriptures in Proverbs 12, verse 10, let me get that real quick. Proverbs 12, verse 10, it reads, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So who's the wicked? The so-called white man. He trying to portray himself as an innocent creature, as trying to do the right thing, trying to profess to be holy, but he's wicked. He was never made upright. He was made to be crooked, okay? He's that destroying sword that's devouring everybody here in America through his philosophies, through his military, through his unrighteous decrees. So right now, the earth is in mourning under this man rule. Now, let's get another scripture. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. Proverbs 29, verse 2. All right, and it reads, When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So right now, in this time frame, we're in a season of hate and war. So the righteous are not in authority right now. Right now is the wicked that's ruling. All right? If the righteous were in authority, everybody would be rejoicing right now because everybody would be in their prospective lands and they will be following the laws and statute commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? But that's not going to happen until we come back to power. All right? So right now, remember, this devil was loosened for a season. So he's going to be wrecking havoc throughout the whole earth, man, for the time being. All right? Until Yahweh shall return and take this man away. All right? To destroy this mountain. So Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, this whole earth and the people is in mourning right now under this so-called Peckerwood's rule right now. Okay? But it all comes down, all this is an education for us, man. Okay? This is the results, what happens when you disobey the law, statute, commandments, man. And you seen what happened to the people in that land in America, which are called Gad, all right? Those are the so-called Native Americans. According to the biblical name, they one of the sons of Jacob named Gad. So let's go to one of the curses, what you see was happening during the history of America with his beast, all right? So this is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all right? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And hope your brothers and sisters were edified with this, you gotta know your history. All right, Deuteronomy 28th chapter. So the Lord said, if you disobey the commandments of the Lord, law, statute, commandments, and you're not following them, he gonna put curses on us. That's if we disobeyed it, and we did. Look at the results right now. So, Deuteronomy 28, verse 31, let's get to it. All right, let's get it. Don't mess up on me now. Here we go, Deuteronomy 28, verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof, because when the settlers, the so-called white man, started to take a lot of property of the Americas with their unrighteous decrees and their military, they were forcing the Native Americans and the Seminole Indians into these reservations. And in the same time, they were killing all the buffalo to prevent, to put them in hunger, okay, like a famine, all right? Only the pale horse would do that, all right? So, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. So basically everything of our help will be taken away from us, because we use sheep too. We use the donkeys, the ass for travel, horses, everything been taken away from our people, all right? Why? For disobeying the law, statute, commandments of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, all right? But guess what? It's not, all this is gonna come to an end, man. It's coming to an end right now, and there's hope for our people. First and foremost, the elect of Israel. All right, so let's get to the scripture, and I'm gonna end it right there. Let's go to Jeremiah 51, the 51st chapter, verse 25. Jeremiah 51, verse 25. Let's get to it. I'm gonna redo that Wu-Tang video because YouTube took it down. Or I'm gonna redo it, but I'm gonna use just the picture frame. All right, so this is Jeremiah 51, verse 25. Behold, I'm against thee. Who the Lord's speaking about? I'm against thee. He against the so-called powers to be, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, and the other nations, all right? Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. What do you mean by destroying mountain? A destroying power, destroying kingdom. Who's that destroying power on this earth? Is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, all right? O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which destroyeth all the earth. Now, if you look at history throughout the time, the Industrial Revolution until now, with their nuclear reactors and meltdowns, And the pollution on the earth, pollution of the waters, the soil, the takings of the gold, silver, and copper off the riverbanks. That's causing more pollution. Destroying the sea creatures with their pollution. Consuming all the lobster and shrimps. That's causing more pollution on these oceans and the reefs. Who's responsible for that? It's the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, so he's the one that's destroying all the earth. Let's continue. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain. Basically saying the Lord is going to destroy America. He's going to destroy the so-called white man's beast system. Okay? So I hope your brothers and sisters were edified. Till then, another video. Shalom.